Good morning and welcome to my garden. So this morning I'm doing a bit of tidying up on my Grevillea garden. As per usual, I've started the process eagerly and forgotten to take before photos, but this is almost before. So beadleana is coming up with lovely flowers soon to open there and here. There are lots of flowers all over. And so I've just given it a little bit of a tip prune. There are a number of branches that were coming up, probably 4 or 5 that were coming up just really loosely, really separate. Number of branches that were sticking out a lot further than the others, just making it messy. So I've just taken a few branches off just to make it neat again. Same here with Scarlet Sprite. Just a few branches off the top. You can see it's loaded with flowers. It also has a whole bunch of very excited bees. Firecracker here had a lot of straggly bits. You can see on this side it's still got some that I didn't chop off. Soopa here, it's growing really low. I didn't expect it to grow so low. I might prune some of these ones off on the ground later after they've flowered, but you can see there are flower tips here. So if I prune that now, I'm going to lose those flowers. And I'm quite happy to enjoy the flowers coming. They're very beautiful. This is Liliane. It's also very low and almost prostrate in its habit. Orange Marmalade is looking very happy. It's got a lot of flowers on it. Apricot Tingle is very small. It has some growth, but it's been competing with a lot of grass, and so it hasn't done really well. It does have some flowers coming. Currently, most of them aren't open. So I've tip pruned these low 1 metre ones. I'm dumping the prunings on the garden as part of the mulch that I'll put here, and eventually we'll get some more grass clippings to cover that over. There are a number of plants between the Grevilleas that I've kept as chop and drop plants. So this one here, I've just pruned that, and I'm going to create a grass barrier along the back here. That'll also stop the water from running away too fast. Hopefully reduce whatever erosion might happen. So there's 1, 2 plants here, 3, 4, 5, and this one. Now they're my chop and drop plants along here. I'm going to keep this one here for now. It can provide shade in the garden, and the birds often sit on the trunk of this tree before diving into the water there. The birds enjoy having a bath there, and we enjoy watching them from our dining room. Okay, I've finished pruning everything and chopping and dropping the other trees. And you can see it looks nice and neat at the front. Around the back here, I have laid my row of chop and drop. There's not much, there wasn't much to chop down, so I'll have to plant some more chop and drop plants in the midst of this garden because I didn't have anything to put around here. And that'll help keep the weeds, the grass, away from the Grevilleas and keep it tidier. So we have had a busy day. A friend came and helped me plant some more Grevilleas, and I'm yet to clean up, but I thought I'd take you for a walk around and show you what I did. Now, I've wanted to plant all my Grevilleas for a really long time, but I just hadn't got to it. So part of the reason why I'd been delaying planting plants is because I realised that the design I'd had for my Grevillea garden didn't quite work. So looking from the house, there are certain vistas we really enjoy. One of them being the dam, and that's our dam down there. Another one being my garden, and particularly the pond, which is going to be there one day. And another place would be down the back from my husband's office, where he can look down the back and see the trees down there. Now, my original plan would have had grevilleas of different heights all through this garden, and so we wouldn't be able to see the dam. So I've modified my plan to have rows of thicker, taller plants, and then areas where the plants are all low. So in the middle here, where we can stand out in the yard and look at the dam, all of these grevilleas here are only going to grow to about 1 metre tall, and we can see over them. Down the side here, where we'll have an easy path to see down the paddock here, down some steps in the future, I'm going to plant some taller grevilleas beside that, because we'll have a place to see down, but then there'll also be a place where we can enjoy the taller grevilleas. From inside, Orange Marmalade is in a position where behind it, it's blocking trees and houses. That's okay, it can block that view. So here on the end of the orange section of the garden, we can have a number of grevilleas that grow quite tall, and that'll be okay, and they'll probably come maybe almost up to the path here. Same here in the yellow section. We'll be able to see the pond from this angle, so we can have some taller yellow plants here. So what have I planted here? This is Gold Rush. Grevillea Gold Rush will grow into a 1 metre round bushy shrub. It's going to be beautiful, really pretty flowers with red stamens in the centre of golden flowers. My favourite yellow grevillea is bush lemons, and I fear that I've left it almost too long, that it's almost dead. But there is a new shoot down here, and there is some green in this stem, and maybe some new shoots here. So I'm going to hope it's going to survive. I'll care for it. I'll put some mulch around it. I'll suppress this grass. Hopefully it'll live. But that is the most beautiful yellow grevillea I've ever seen. So I've put it here so that I can see it every time I come down to my garden. Sandra Gordon is another gorgeous grevillea. It's a very yellow plant as well. It's only about 3 metres wide, but it's going to grow up to 5 metres tall. So this space here will be well filled. My feature purple plant is Grevillea Dorothy Gordon. And I'm thrilled to say that it is actually trying to grow new leaves and even flowers. So I'm really happy to see it's alive. Dorothy Gordon has a purple flower, and I'm looking forward to seeing that big and beautiful in this space here. One of the reasons it hadn't been planted was because there was a cycad here that I had to dig out and transplant. But that's been done now. So we're a little step closer to having the beautiful grevillea garden that I imagined all around here on this yard. It's an exciting day for me. I'm planting some more grevilleas, and I have a lovely selection of them to plant. I have already planted Grevillea Red Wings. Now, Grevillea Red Wings will grow up to 1 metre high, and it will spread out to about 2 metres wide. So that will do a lovely job of filling up this gap here between beadleana and Scarlet Sprite. Now, while I'm planting other plants here, I'm having a look down here. Grevillea Raptor is a ground cover, and she spreads out all over the place and does a lovely job of covering the ground. She's been in the ground since May 2025, so that's only this year. While she is spreading out, she's also very sparse in places, and so with the rain about to come back for another growing season, I've decided I'm going to prune her down and cut all the side branches off to encourage more growth. Then she can grow back nice and thick and spread out all over again. So I've pruned off Raptor's long branches. Looks like I missed this one. That one's dead, so that one comes off easily. So you can see that wasn't the only dead branch that Raptor had on it. There are a lot of dead branches here. It looks like it's still got some more. So it's been a long, dry winter, and it hasn't had much water at all. But the rains are coming back, and it will grow back quickly now. I've also just planted Deua Flame. Deua Flame gets to about 2 metres tall. You can see how different the leaves are between Deua Flame and Raptor and Red Wings and beadleana. I love the diversity, I love the variety in the leaves. And let's not forget Scarlet Sprite. Such beautiful diversity. Another addition you might notice in my Grevillea garden is my chop and drop row. So when this tree was blown over in the recent storm, I took the opportunity to use it for chop and drop. And since then I've been putting a lot of prunings in a row here just below the Grevilleas. Now that will help to hold the bank together, to stabilise the bank, to reduce erosion. It will also provide a little bit of water retention property to that area there. It also makes it harder for us to mow there and creates a weed problem, but anyway. So having those sticks there will capture the water, slow it down, make it sink into the ground a bit, which means the Grevilleas that are planted underneath will naturally get more water. I've just noticed here we've got a volunteer wattle popping up. I'm going to leave that there. I know it's a Grevillea garden and I only want Grevilleas planted in there, but wattle makes great chop and drop. So I'll leave it there, and as it gets too big and shades out the Grevilleas, I'll just prune it for chop and drop and add it to my chop and drop row.